Hi, I'm Luka Ivanovic, a first year medical student, and welcome to the sixth episode of Lean and Aggressive. And yes, I'm sticking to that name. This is the cutting edge of everything fitness, health, wellness, clear skin, six pack, and high brain power ability. And I'm the guinea pig with nothing to lose, and you're the viewer with everything to gain. Now that I've got through that random script which I wrote 6 months ago, here is everything that happened this week and what I learned about health, essentially. Everything that was bad, what didn't work, what worked, what I learned, new thoughts moving forward, etc. If you think back to who you were 2 years ago, or the thought that keeps coming back to me, it might just be my tiny little college student brain. But if I think of high school terms, the person I was in eighth grade is completely different to the person I was in 10th grade, which is completely different to the person I was in 12th grade. In American terms, junior, sophomore, freshman, whatever the terms are, right? But there were kids who were in 10th grade, still nerds, still zero aura, not cool at all. They completely turned it around in 10th grade. And they were cool. They started looking good. They hit the gym. They mogged. They looked good, right? There were guys who were really stupid. Guys who were just messing around, who were just partying. Not even partying. They were just not cool. They were like nerds, but without the brains. They were just boring weirdos who really wanted to get into med school, for example, but they couldn't do it because their grades weren't good enough, or they weren't the most. Yeah, basically they weren't the best students in 10th grade, for example. Out of nowhere, 12th grade, they turn everything around, top marks, get into med school, for example. There were guys who were playing sports teams who were lower down the third, fourth, fifth team. Not that impressive, not that promising either. Completely turn things around, play for the highest, the high school sports team. They get all the chicks in final year. It's cool, right? They're the man. They score. I'm thinking of rugby here. They score winning tries. Everyone knows their name. And if you ask their friends or people in their team, coaches, for example, how do they do it? I don't know. He just got good. He just worked hard. He just trained. He just did. It just happened. I don't know. And if you think, what is 2 years? It's nothing. 2 years is nothing. Like, what happened from grade 8 to grade 10? You ate some Doritos, you played a bunch of Fortnite, and you did a little bit of homework. It's really not a long time. But as long as you can, my roommates playing, or my floor mates playing Fortnite. Someone took his big shield. Uh, Basically, 2 years, scratch that, 6 months. 6 months is really not a lot of time, right? If now it's December, oh, now it's July, it's winter, it's cold. 6 months from now, I'll be on holiday with my shirt off, poolside, beachside, with 20 girlfriends. Okay, scratch that part. I'll be at the beach, right, with my shirt off. I can either be exactly what I am right now, or worse, or I can look the best I've ever looked. 6 months from now, I can learn a tremendous amount on nutrition if I just do more research into these topics that I find interesting. 6 months from now, I can do a lot. I can advance in the gym a lot. I can improve my lifts. I can, if I think about how much I've learned and how much I've grown and developed in these last 6 months since moving out of the house, my hometown, moving away from family and friends, moving to a new environment, college, uni, you get the idea, right? I've learned a lot. I've learned how to bake sourdough bread. I've studied some theology in my free time. I've dived deeper into my faith. I've learned a lot about nutrition. I've learned like heaps on medicine, the field of medicine at least. For now, just anatomy and physiology, but I've learned a lot. I've learned a lot about myself. I've learned a lot about my social skills. I learned a lot in the gym. Like, you learn a lot and you really grow. And if I think back 6 months ago, the person I am now to the person I was then, I'm completely different. Then I was a bit more of a boy. Now I'm a bit more of a alpha male, apex predator, lion cub. whatever that means. But you get the idea. And if we think, what is 6 months? It's really not that much time. All it takes is intention, effort, concentrated, and then just not letting go of the pedal, not redirecting or almost deviating that effort or that directed focus from the goal, right? So I don't say right now I'm locked in. I don't say like if I go and I'm cutting now, I'm getting leaner. If I go and eat a cheese or something a bit unhealthier, if I go and eat a cheesecake with extra whipped cream on top, it's simply just a deviation from who I want to be. It's simply just a deviation from the path which I'm taking, the straight path, right? So I don't know exactly what point I was making with that, but the point I'm trying to make is that it's all just about, like, 6 months, 2 years is really not a long time. If you think about the person you were, so much can change. All it really takes is just thinking about something like time on problem. I look in the mirror, I don't really like what I see. Time on problem. Tracking your calories each week. It's literally just focus. It's just focus. I can eat. I've been eating in a caloric deficit now, and it's just intention and focus with my food. Being in tune with my body. When I eat, I feel what I'm eating. I know why I'm eating it, right? I know why I'm eating a bunch of carbohydrates before I exercise. I know why I'm eating more carbohydrates and protein after I exercise, spiking my insulin. I know why in the mornings when I study, I'm a little hungry-ish. I have a bit of that knack, that nick, you know what I mean? I feel like I can focus better when I'm a little hungry, not fully satiated. Things like that. It's literally just about intention. If you would ask, you know, everyone around me now in 6 months from now, how do you do it? You just did it. It just happened. But it's all just about you and directing that focus. If you would ask those same those kids from high school how they get good at the sport, it just happened, kind of thing. So a lot can change. You literally just have to, like, I hope, for me, that perspective is very clear, and I hope I'm just communicating that in the same way that I see it. It's literally just about, like, you can change so much in 6 months, 12 months, 24 months. And if we really think about it in the grand scheme of things, I'm going to be here for the next 5 years of medical school. Third year, I can be completely different. I can be lean and have a six-pack and mug, and I can have a totally new style and aesthetic, and I can look good and do all these things. And I can be cool and blah, 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 right? I'll be 21 years old. A lot can change, and it's not even that much time, you know? It's all just about identity. Bottom line. Holy yap. Anyway, speaking about identity and all this blah, blah, blah stuff, let's get back to some more practical things. I'm talking about low-key just doing the bare minimum. I wrote that down on my laptop here. I used to be very, very rigid and strict with my habit tracker there. If you don't get 4K, you didn't mark the day. 4K skips. If you didn't get 10K steps, you didn't get the day. If you didn't wake up at 5 a.m. this morning, you don't get the cross. If you didn't go to bed at this time, you don't get the cross. If you didn't do this and that, you don't get the cross. Like, you don't get to mark the habit done. But I've changed that a bit in recent times. And I've just given myself bare minimums to do. So that even if I just do this, bare minimum, I'm moving in the right direction. I'm moving towards my goal. It's just a matter of how fast am I getting there. So 10K steps, I'll get there a lot quicker than if I do 5K or 7K. But I can do 5K every single day regardless. I can do 7K every single day regardless. You know what I mean? So I just give myself these bare minimums to do. And you just do the bare minimum every day. And then there's a day where you feel better. There's a day where the weather's amazing outside. There's a day where you really just want to walk. And you go 10K. There's a day where I used to say I need 4,000 jump ropes every day. Now I just say 20 minutes, 5 minutes on my lunch break, 8 minutes before gym, 12 minutes after the workout, whatever. Or what's the math of that? Or like six, you know what I mean? Like 10 minutes after the workout, it adds up to at least like 20 minutes. Some days I'll just get to 20 minutes and stop right away. Some days I'll go for 25, like yesterday. It's all just about how you feel. But as long as you're just doing the bare minimum, I've given myself another bare minimum. Just wake up before 6 a.m. Some days I wake up 5:59. Some days I wake up at 5:30. Some days quarter to 6. But as long as it's kind of before 6, go to bed by 10 o'clock. Sure, some days I do watch World Cup and I go to bed at 10:30. Some days something happens, right? But most, like 99% of the time, I'm going to bed before 10. Sometimes it's 8:30, sometimes it's 9:30, sometimes it's 9:99. You know what I'm saying? 9:59. But it's just bare minimums and just do that. And that's a lot more sustainable because I'm thinking of who I want to be in 6 months, who I want to be in a year and 2 years from now. I want to have, like, I'll give basic example. Let's just use the body example, right? I want to be kind of jacked and I want to be kind of smart and I want to have a six pack, for example. Those are pretty easy things to envision. I don't just want to get there, or let's say in 6 months. I want to be a little leaner in 6 months. I'm not going to look like Zac Efron, completely new, unrecognizable human in 6 months. But I want to look better, right? That's realistic. I don't want to get there and then revert back to what I was, what I am now. I don't want to get there, amazing, this is sweet, and then just poof, bounce back now, wake up from your dream paradise, amazing fantasy dream. You got to go back. I don't want that. I want to get there. I want to stay there for the most part, right? And then that's why I'm thinking, like, how do I get there and stay there? I'm prepared to get there slower. If it means I only get there in 12 months or 24 months, I'm okay with that. As long as I can stay there for 12 months after that. You know what I mean? Like, if I get there in a year from now, I can stay there for a year, as opposed to just getting there in 6 months, but staying there for 2 weeks. You know what I'm saying? So that's why I'm starting a lot slower, a lot easier, a lot more manageably, digestibly, with these bare minimums. And as I get stronger, as I get leaner, as I get fitter, as I get better or closer to this identity or this character which I'm becoming or aligning myself with, the more I can start upping my bare minimums to match that same ideal character, right? So right now my bare minimum steps is 5K. I'm averaging about 7,000. So yeah, let's okay, I'm averaging about 7,000, right? Then maybe I'll end up saying my bare minimum is 7,000 instead of 5,000 in a few months from now. Maybe as I start getting fitter with the jump rope, I'll up my bare minimum from 20 minutes a day to 22 minutes a day in a few weeks' time. In a few weeks' time after that, 5, 6, 7 weeks, I don't know, I'll up it up to 25 minutes a day. You know what I'm saying? And now, it kind of works the same way with calories. If I'm kind of chubs now, and this is the heaviest I've been in a long time. If I now cut 500 calories from my diet, go into a deficit, and I'm at 2,000, let's say, that 2,500, that 500 calorie deficit, it's going to feel pretty hard now, but it's going to get easy in a few weeks' time. So that's like the best example of me getting closer to that. Like, as I'm getting leaner, as I'm getting closer to that goal, to that body, to that character, the bare minimum doesn't become that challenging anymore. And then you can start upping the bare minimum if you want. But with the calories, it's okay. I won't do it. But for now, 20 minutes of jump rope a day might be challenging. But as I get fitter, as I get closer to that character, I'm going to be, I can start bumping up my bare minimums to match the ideal archetype, which I want to be, right? So it's all just about bare minimums for me now. Just do the bare minimum every day and knowing what to do. And I feel a lot more manageable, it's a lot easier for me now to just do 20 minutes of jump rope instead of 4,000 jumps every day. Before I used to count the jumps in my head, and when people would come to talk to me while I jump rope, I'll be like, "Nah, go away," or something like that, right? I'd be a bit dismissive. I wouldn't really talk to them much because I was counting. But now I can literally just play music, or I can look around and laugh and talk to other people and make small talk in the gym while I'm jumping rope, and I can just enjoy it a lot more. And I'm more likely to do it every single time I do it because I'm making it better and I'm making it easy. I'm making it more manageable, right? It's all just bare minimums. Same with the food, right? Uh, I'm kind of on a low nickel diet now, just trying that out with skin. But for the last 2 years, I've been on some sort of elimination diet, low dairy, low eggs, things like that. Things that cause, I get these rosy cheeks. I don't know if it's rosacea or keratosis pilaris rubifacea. It could be whatever. I don't know. But I get these rosy cheeks basically. I never really liked them, or I never liked it. It's got like a flush. It's uncomfortable. It's whatever. Um, and so I've been on elimination diets for a while, trying to just improve that. And so I cut out some eggs, I cut out some dairy, I cut out all these kinds of things over the last 2 years. And yeah, let's say I'm not supposed to eat strawberries. Let's say I'm not supposed to eat all this dairy and stuff because hey, I believe it causes some issues for my skin, for example. Every now and then I can have some strawberries though. Like the bare minimum is just don't eat junk. Don't eat a bunch, like don't have dairy, right? But if we look at dairy, there's milk with a bunch of lactose, there's yogurt with a bit more like bacteria and less lactose, and then you have kefir, and you have all these. The more fermented the milk is, essentially, the easier it becomes for me to digest and to manage and to palate, right? So yeah, dairy, I shouldn't be having dairy, but if I'm gonna have something, I can compromise a bit and go for the bare minimum. I can have yogurt, or I can have a bit of kefir. You know what I'm saying? If I'm going to compromise, I shouldn't be eating. This is all my opinion and stuff. These red foods with all these carotenoids in them, problematic, like tomatoes and stuff. If you want to have something like that, I can go for some strawberries. You know what I mean? Like you can just pick things which is just not as bad as it could be. Does that even make sense? Is what I'm like. I don't even know if I'm communicating in English right now. Uh, you're out at a restaurant and you have to eat so that you don't insult your host, right? Or you get invited to your girlfriend's house and you don't want to eat her mom's food because it's just oily and junky and whatever. At least hey, okay, this meal is not going to be optimal, but at least I can kind of compromise and go for a little bit of protein. I can just, eat around the pasta or the mac and cheese and just get the bits of bacon. Does that make sense? Or I can just eat a bunch of, the salad and get full off of the salad. So it looks like I ate a bunch so that I'm still in my calories. You know what I mean? More or less. It's all just about bare minimums. And also just to make the diet stuff now in a caloric deficit a lot more manageable for me is variation. I've been adding loads of variation. Not loads, but a bit more every now and then just to switch it up. For example, pasta. I eat a lot of refined flour. It's very low in nickel and there's not much to it. It's basically just carbs and like 10% protein. It's basically no nickel starch. That's why I eat it. And with flour, you have sourdough bread or you have pasta. And I've been eating loads of pasta recently. And with pasta, you can only eat so much of penne before it gets boring. So then you switch up the shape. Fusilli. It gets pretty interesting now. Then you get bored of fusilli, and you go to the gnocchi shells. Then you get bored of that. Then you start switching it up. And I go to the bow tie one, I think like farfallini, whatever it's called. I don't know. Then we're gonna order some rigatoni. So you can just experiment with different shapes, but it's still pasta at the end of the day. With bread, for example, I make my own sourdough bread in my dorm room. I started making my bread into smaller shapes. I used to make a big bulk loaf for the week. Now I make a small little loaf and another little loaf, and it's cuter and I like it more. Different size slices. It's nice. Now I'm gonna try making bagels. I'm gonna boil the bread a bit and bake it. It should be cool. I don't know. Just things like that. It's still bread, but you just gotta switch it up and make life a little more fun. Uh, Meat. I eat chicken breasts and ground beef. Now, yes, today I had some ostrich mince, because I live in South Africa, Cape Town. So we have ostriches. If you're in Australia, maybe that's like kangaroo. Maybe that's crazy. I don't know. Or like venison mince or bison or something, right? Just a little bit of a deviation from what you're used to, from the norm. Uh, Also flour. I This morning for breakfast I made a flour porridge, and basically you toast the flour, then you put cold water, then you pour it into boiling water. It's amazing. It's like a nice smooth porridge and it tasted very, very nice. I was also, in the past, I was making some wheatmeal fufu as a white boy myself. And then I was making it nice and thick, and you can like roll it up into a bowl or slap it up into the egg. Like it's just it's still flour at the end of the day, but you can get sourdough bread, you can get bagels, you can get pasta, you can get different shapes of pasta, you can get porridge, you can get fufu, you can get so much just with one thing, and that's what it's really about: adding variety, making it bearable and worth enjoying. uh Same for cucumber. I peel my cucumber and I eat it, but I can cut it into the long strips like fries, or I can cut it into circles like little potato chips, or I can peel it and make these long noodles, for example. It's all just about adding that. When I feel like snacking, just eat a frozen fruit, frozen strawberry. Take an apple, put it in the freezer, freeze it, and then eat it. It just feels like like a better snack. You know what I mean? You don't binge as much because it's cold and it hurts your teeth a bit, but things like that. Just need to add variety. What else do we have here? Oh yeah, then also, I feel like I haven't been. We all know Alex Hormozy, right? And he's super workaholic, grind set, work 12 hours a day, um, until your fingernails fall off, kind of vibe. And I was that in the start of the year, and I grinded and I grinded and I worked really hard, and I was doing all these things, and I worked the whole day. And now I've taken my foot off the burner a bit, and I realize I kind of just want to be happy and feel good, And I'm not saying that those things don't make me happy, or that he's not happy or whatever, but what I'm doing now, I actually enjoy. Like, when I wake up in the morning, I don't feel crazy tired, like I want to go to bed right away. You know what I mean? And I felt like that before. Now when I wake up in the mornings, I drink a little bit of water, and I feel kind of awake, and I feel decent, and I get going with my day. When I do my morning study sessions, it's a little earlier, or it's still pretty early, but it's a little later than what it used to be. Before, it would be at strictly 6, now it's at like 6:30, 6:45. I feel good. I don't need to sleep on my arms. I don't even nap anymore during midday. I feel good. I feel bearable. I feel happy. I feel like I can actually do this for a long period of time. I can talk to people in the gym now when I jump rope. I can, have fun in lectures, have fun with the people that I live with in my dorm. I can just enjoy life a little more. It's not all just about the habit tracker and ticking the box and just the strict rules. You can just set bare minimums and meet them, and as long as you're doing that, you can smile. And the days where you feel really good, you can go harder. You know what I'm saying? The days where you don't feel too good, just hit the bare minimum. And I just feel a lot more manageable. Like, I'm gonna study after this. I can study well. I've just been studying. I make a little bit of these videos now. It's not like 4 or 5 videos a week on the public speaking stuff. Like, if you scroll down on my old videos, it's just a lot more manageable, and I can work with that, and I feel a lot better. I can enjoy life a bit more. I can smile a bit more, and I can not, always feel nervous and agitated and feel like something's like I need to work on something and do something, and it kind of sucks. And I was really just tired and not really happy, but now I feel a lot better. My next point is literally just do what makes you feel good. Nutrition wise, there's all this nutrition stuff. Oh, you shouldn't eat this, you shouldn't eat that. If you're a carnivore, you shouldn't have veg, you shouldn't do this. My thoughts on nutrition are all over the show. 6 months ago is different to what it is now. 12 months ago is different to what it is now. You know what I'm saying? It's always changing. So don't listen to me on this. But I feel good now when I eat salad. I feel good when I eat iceberg lettuce. I feel good when I eat some cucumber, or when I have some fruit. Basically some like green veggie thing with each of my meals. I feel good after that, so I'm doing that. And I've noticed that pattern and I've picked up on it. Like that's just because I've been trying things out. I feel good when I do that, so I'm gonna keep doing that. I feel good when I have, either lettuce or cucumber or apple or banana, or like maybe a little bit of strawberry with whatever I eat. You know what I'm saying? So I eat that with every meal because I feel good on it and I feel fresher. I feel the food it just digests better. I my stools are better. It just works really well, and so I'm gonna keep doing that. Uh, in the gym, for example, I do 6 days a week, and I'd probably train 7 days a week if the gym wasn't closed on Sunday. Why is that optimal? IDK, I don't know, but I like going to the gym. You know what I'm saying? I like just going to the gym. I like grabbing some dumbbells and hitting some bicep curl. You know what I mean? Yeah, the cable might be more effective than the dumbbell because the cable you get constant tension, blah blah blah. I like the dumbbell though. That's the most important part. It's like what always irritated me when I go shopping, clothes shopping with my mom, is she tell me this quality and this brand and this is G Star Raw, it's Italian, blah blah blah, whatever. But I like that one though. I like the basic Zara one though. You know what I mean? And it's like you aren't hearing that, bruh. It's like you're telling me about this and why this quality is better and this design and that heritage and this iconic brand and that Italian design. But the most important thing is that I like that one though. You know what I mean? When I go to the gym, I like that one though. The dumbbell though. Technically this angle's better because whatever. I like the one though. You know what I mean? So I'm just gonna end up doing that because it makes me feel good. Uh, Cardio. Running is better than skipping because of your knees and your joints or whatever. Or walking is more sustainable than running or jump rope or whatever. But I like jump rope though. So that's what I'm gonna do. Uh, you know, my dad always telling me, yo, running's better than walking. But I like walking though, so I'm gonna go for a walk. You know what I mean? That's basically it. Just literally just do what makes you feel good, bro. And just keep doing it. And a lot of the time you won't know until you try. Like now, this past week, I was on a bit more carbs. I was eating a lot more carbs, and I feel good. I feel pretty good. And it's like if it ain't broke, don't fix it. Facts. But I don't know if I'm gonna feel how I'm gonna feel in a bit higher fat because now I'm very low fat. I'm like in my dietary fat. I'm eating. I'm a little heavy, bro. I'm eating like 0.2 grams of fat a day. No. I'm eating like 20 grams of fat a day, and I want to bump that up to like 40, 50, and just see how I feel, basically. And maybe we feel good, maybe we don't, maybe it feels the same. So then we'll figure things out. Uh, yeah, dude, just do what feels good for you. And also, I'm not swearing anymore, but F word, optimism. I'm not optimalism. Like today, I'm in this t-shirt or this tank top. It says grass fed on it. I did a little, it's like it's a High Rocks, but a baby version of High Rocks. Just for there was some High Rock baby version college gym High Rocks thing today. I did it with my buddy. It was fun. We had matching fits. We had sweatbands on. It was cool. It was fun. Nice. Not optimal, right? I hit legs yesterday for hypertrophy and recovery, whatever. I did it again today. A bunch of squats and running and treadmill and not treadmill, rowing and bicycle and all this stuff. But it was fun though. And it's not optimal, but who cares? And then I hit the gym after as well to do my upper day today. And my flatmates were like, bro, no way you got an optimal workout in or optimal whatever stimulus on your like, I don't care. about the optimal whatever. I still got some stimulus on my muscles. To be fair, my workout was actually pretty good, and I didn't feel that tired. I rested a bit, carb maxed again, and then hit it, and my numbers were good. It was like the same reps as what I usually hit. So yeah, but it's all about optimism or optimalism. Like training 6 days a week probably isn't optimal for recovery, but I like it, so I just end up doing it. The Hyrox gym thing now, probably not optimal, but I did it and it was fun. So what now? You know what I mean? The diet stuff, like it's not optimal to. I'm Orthodox Christian. I fast on Wednesdays and Fridays, as in vegan fast, like a Lenten fast. It's not optimal to not have protein, not enough protein. It's not optimal to not eat meat on those days. Meat's pretty good for me. All right, it's not optimal to not have meat every single 2 days, every single week. But that's something I want to do. It's something that I value, something that I find important. That's my price to pay. You know? So optimalism this, optimalism that. Shut up. You know what I mean? Just shut up. Like you're still getting growth. As long as it's all just about, am I moving towards my character, which I want to be? This identity which I'm trying to align myself with. Am I aligning to it? Am I walking towards it? Yes. The question is just how fast. Then I just keep checking in case my microphone dies, because that's my worst fear in life. Let me just put this on. It's kind of cool. Then making the most of the chances you have. For example, I'm going to go to a lecture either way, right? I'm going to sit there for an hour or 2 or 3. Either way, I might as well do certain things to maximize the time that I have there, to maximize the knowledge gained, the familiarity with the concepts like covered in the lecture, to either hear alternative opinions or perspectives on something, to network with my lecturer or something, raise the girls to my left and to my right and to my front and to my back, because I'm that charismatic and charming, and I just naturally stumble over my words. I want to be there either way. Why wouldn't I just make the most of it? You know what I mean? So what I'm getting at is, like, preparing before the lecture makes my lecture infinitely times more valuable, because I know what's important, I know what to listen for, I know what I don't understand, I know what question to ask afterwards, I know what's a misconception, which I can, when she asks the question, I put my hand up and get some free aura. You know what I mean? I'm going to go to the gym either way. Now it's become a habit of mine. I'm going to go there either way. It's just, if I'm going to be there, why wouldn't I just make the time I have there the most valuable? Why wouldn't I maximize? Like, I want to be there for like an hour and a half either way. Why wouldn't I make the most of that? Why wouldn't I get good at this full? Why wouldn't I switch to this exercise because it's better? You know what I mean? Stuff like that. And I know I was talking about the optimal stuff before, it's not optimal, whatever, but you're going to get my drift here. Like, it's also like, oh, I only have 2 hours to study right now. It's not ideal. It's best if I could just have this whole afternoon off. Or I only have this 1 hour now before my sports practice. Why wouldn't I sit down for 10 minutes now before my 120 minutes of 2 hours of studying? Why wouldn't I use 10 of those minutes to meditate, to prime my focus muscle, and then sit down, and just the other 110 minutes I have to study are just, as a result, far more effective, far more useful, and just I can just get way more source out of them. You know what I mean? Now, this is probably from my tennis coach. In high school, he was one of those guys, which is like, I would have gone pro if it weren't for this injury, which is probably facts. Like, he was pretty good, and he does have some like gnarly scars on his knees, but he was always really like, guys, I only ask you to be here 2-3 times a week for practice. It's not even that much. Like, your other homies are playing rugby and stuff. They're training all the time. They need to do these things. Like, you guys are only here 2-3 times a week for 2 hours at a time. All I ask of you is that when you come for those 2 hours, just give me your all. Don't talk to your friends on the side of the court that aren't even playing tennis. Don't mess around. Don't do this and that. Just give me your all for those 2 hours. And I've really, that's been drilled into me every single week for the last like 5 years, because of him, and I really like that philosophy, that approach, and I use that now with like many other things I'm doing with my life now. I only have an hour now in the lecture hall. Don't talk to me, bro. Mute your mic. Like, don't talk about this and that. Don't talk about some other thing you're gonna do after class. Just, we have an hour now of lecture. Let's just make the most of it. Let's just give everything we have now. I have an hour, a chunk of time now to study. Let me just do everything I can now. Screw that distraction. Screw that pretty girl walking past. It's like, it don't matter right now. Just give me everything now. This video, right? I have a bunch of other things to do after this. I need a meal prep. I need to get my groceries. I need to do. I need to study for my test on Friday. Neuroanatomy. Ugh. But I'm sitting here with you now. I'm going to talk to you now. Same thing in conversation. Like, people that just go on their phone, put their phone on the table, text while they talk to you. What were you saying? Oh yeah. Sorry, what was that? I hate you. If you do that, I hate you. I literally hate you. And I hate's a strong word, but I really do mean it with that level of magnitude. Like, I literally hate you, bro. Like, attention and focus is, oh, I really value that. And that's why I'm saying all this, transformation stuff is all just about focus and literally just not deviating from the path. What I mean by the path is, think of, here's my laptop, right? When I look at my laptop, everything I'm going to work on and study is on here, right? The math question isn't out the window, right? It's on my laptop. So as long as I'm just looking at the laptop, I'm technically spending time on problem. I'm kind of, even if I'm just blanked out or don't know what to do, as long as I'm just looking at the question, it's more productive than if I start looking at the girls walking past, or if I start looking at this and that, and then I start checking, okay, but let me just quickly open a new tab and check the World Cup score. As long as I just stay on this tab with the question that is time on problem, that is the focus. You know what I mean? And as long as I just don't deviate to look anywhere else, as long as I just keep looking at that tab, it's somewhat productive. I'm somewhat getting closer to the solution, right? Because it's definitely not there. It's definitely not, in my booty, scratching my nose, right? Picking my nose. It's at least going to be on this tab. Same with the fitness stuff. As long as I'm just staying on this line towards the goal, as long as I'm just kind of going to the gym, kind of moving, kind of eating, not junk, just, stick there low key. You know what I mean? With the skin stuff, like, as long as I'm not eating some insane hormone pumped pig, fat bacon lard cheesecake supreme thing, my skin's not going to go crazy. Like, oh, potatoes are nightshades and they typically gave me problems in the past. If I can just peel them and boil the heck out of them, I make them a little less of a problem for me. I can still have that every now and then, right? Just look at the tab. You know what I'm saying? Just make the most of this moment you have. And it's all just about focus, focus, focus. Hocus pocus. Have fun, though. And, like, make the most of the food you have. Like, all I can get is cucumber right now. I'm going to cut it up into 3 different ways. All I have is pasta. I have a million different shapes I can put it into. All I have is flour. I can make porridge. I can make fufu. I can make bread. I can make bread like this and like that, and breadsticks and wraps and pita breads and flatbreads and tortillas and this and that. Like, there's so much I can do with just flour. Next up, this is something that really, really, I got a bone to pick. It takes courage to admit that you're not where you want to be. It takes courage to know that to say that you're wrong. And above all, it takes courage to admit that you're not healthy. When I go back home in the holidays and I argue with my mom and say, yo, this and that, this is my opinion on nutrition, or my dad, for example, and they say, like, oh, I'm eating all these, these weird greens and the spinach and the blah, 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 and some shilajit, whatever, and this gel and that spice and this herb and this black seed oil. It tastes like vomit, but I'm still eating it. And I'm like, bro, why are you doing all this stuff, this like weird trendy health stuff? And then I just start questioning, like, it's not working for you, why do you keep doing it? Things like that. If it doesn't work for you, why do you keep doing it? And then they make the argument, oh, but it does work for me because blah, blah, blah. I'm actually not that unhealthy. But it's like, what do you mean you're not unhealthy? Like, what do you mean? Like, you're not healthy, bro. You're overweight and you can't achieve your goal of getting slim. You have migraines all the time. You have this and that. Like, there's no need to incriminate my mother now, but you kind of get the idea. And so this comes up in conversation. It's like, maybe you're right. Maybe I'm not as healthy. Maybe I'm just too afraid to admit it. With my friend, or my friend who lives in my flat with me, I was talking about certain foods which I don't think are that beneficial. I was making the argument for a low vitamin A diet based on toxic bioparadigm. And I was saying, yeah, like all these foods that are high in, like, what are the most problematic foods for skin? If you Google it, it's going to be dairy, it's going to be eggs, it's going to be like nightshades and stuff. And then coincidentally, all these foods are high in vitamin A. And then he makes the argument and he says, oh, but I drink milk and my skin is fine. But what do you mean your skin is fine? Because you have severe eczema, which you have no idea how to cover up or heal. You know what I mean? Like, you put this cream on every night. It's something you complain about, you talk about, you don't like it. It's a problem of yours. But what do you mean your skin is fine? You don't have pimples and stuff. Cool. But your skin's not fine. Like, you have to admit your shortcomings. Admit where you fell short. Admit what you do not know. Admit that you are wrong here and there. And I'm not saying they're wrong and I'm right. Right? But for example, I've been on this Erling Haaland raw milk primal diet. And then I thought it was the best thing ever. And I was saying, this is amazing. This is the truth. Then I said, nah. And then I found this out. And I was like, oh, no, but that's wrong. Here's the new wave. I was wrong. My bad. Oops. Here's the new stuff. And then I switched up. Oh, that was wrong. My bad. Oops. Now I'm on this new thing. And then again, and like, I've just been able to admit where I was wrong and just switch up and just learn and just bounce from different topics and concepts. Just learn the most and be a sponge in essence. And that's very important. And I've been able to admit, like, looking in the mirror, it's like, bro, I gained like 4 kg in 2 weeks just because I went back home and had a bunch of cake and pies and all this fatty meat and stuff. That's messed up. That is a problem. I swear a lot in conversation. That's messed up. That's a problem. I battle with gluttony. That's messed up. That's a problem. So it's just like acknowledging the problem is the first step to solving the problem. You know what I mean? And there's nothing wrong in saying, I'm not where I want to be yet. I look in the mirror, no hate to me, but I'm not who I want to be. I'm not where I want to be. I'm not what I want to be. And I'm 19. I'd hope not. This shouldn't be my peak. But I want to keep moving towards who I want to be. You kind of just have to choose who and what you want to be. And that's the hard part, because to be fair, right now I don't really know entirely, but I know a little bit. Like, I want to be a buff, jacked doctor. I don't even know if I want to be a doctor. I just want to be jacked. I'm such a meathead. I'm like just a dumbass college kid. But yeah, it really just takes courage to say, I don't know. And a concept or something I mentioned in my previous videos was, I'm prepared to look stupid. I'm prepared to go to the gym and just look dumb and do the wrong exercise and to ask questions. I'm prepared to ask the jack to go to the gym, why do you do your pull-up or your lat pull down like that and not like that? I'm prepared to ask the lecturer, but what is this and that? I'm prepared to look stupid. I'm prepared to make these videos and say all these things and do all this stuff and be cringe. I'm prepared. And that's what we want here, Brody. You know what I mean? Like, you admit where you're wrong so that you can just move forward to where you want to be right. Anyway, those are just my thoughts. What was bad this week? What didn't work? Usually I start off with the bad and then with the good and then my thoughts, but I liked my thoughts today. So, what was bad? My routine. Where's my journal? What my routine is, which I follow basically every day, is I wake up at about 5:30, 5:45, and then I get ready in about 20 minutes, and then I pray for 10 minutes, and then I walk in and meditate, and then I start studying about 40, 50 minutes after waking up. So here I wrote 5:30 wake up. I ended up studying at about 6:20, and then I study for a few hours. And then, in this case, I had a class, but usually I basically just work until like 12. So whenever I start working, like 6:20, 6:30, uh, I just end up studying till about 12. And if I have class, I go to class, but then I come back to the library and then I study. So I work until 12. And then at 12, that's where I have my lunch break. And then there, what I started doing was, I have 12 to 1 basically. So then I'll eat a bit, I'll do a bit, 5 minutes of jump rope, maybe talk to some people a little bit, an hour, eat mainly, jump a little bit of rope, get some sunlight, walk around a bit, done. Come back to the library, study from 1 till about 4, right? I'll bring my pre-workout with, I'll eat it while I'm in the library, climbing carbs, etc. I'll work out at 4 to 5 gym. It ends up being about 5:15 or 5:30, and then I eat up until 6. Afterwards, I have dinner, and then it's about 6. And I'm supposed to work from 6 till 7:30, and then 7:30 I shower, 8 I'll journal, plan, bed, whatever, 9 sleep. That work from 6 to 7:30 hasn't been productive at all. Like, I don't study there. I'm supposed to plan for these YouTube videos and stuff. There's no prep. Like, that time sucks. That hour and a half there sucks. What I ended up doing was, jeez, bro, I almost just broke my glass water bottle with a bamboo lid. That would be a shame. I end up just sitting, like, going on Twitter or going on YouTube and watching, like, gym. This week I was just watching gym videos because I was arguing that it's productive. And I guess it is. Like, I know it has changed my behavior, so I guess that is knowledge gained. Like, I have a clear understanding of my workouts now. And what the heck is with this cable? My cable was stuck in my sandal. So I guess I gained new knowledge, and now I learned about the wheat meal, or the porridge made from flour, and it was yummy. So I did gain knowledge in that regard, but it just hasn't been the task I wanted to work on. I haven't been working on the task I set out to be, and I haven't been planning too much. I kind of just say, "Oh, prep for YouTube." I don't really know what I'm prepping, so that's a problem, and I guess I'm fixing it moving forward. I don't know how, but ish. Then, what's been good? Swearing. The start of the year, or since coming to college, uni, med school, whatever, I've been swearing a lot in conversation, super casually, F word, B word, this and that, whatever. No biggie. But I didn't like it. And again, I had to realize that I didn't like it. I had to realize it was a problem. And so the reason, or the way it came about, the way I realized it was bad is, like, I was thinking, like, yo, I low-key want, like, some nice, feminine, cute, gentle girlfriend, or, like, partner in life one day. And then I'm thinking, like, oh, if I'm expecting some gentle, feminine lady who doesn't, like, burp and stuff like Fiona from Shrek, and I want, like, someone who's, like, cute and she has, like, some cool aesthetic and stuff, what kind of person is she gonna want as well? Like, she doesn't want some brash. So I don't know, some crude caveman guy like me eating food with his hands and saying the F word every second word. You know what I mean? That's not cool. So I realized there was a problem, and then I had to fix it. And I I think I swore once yesterday. I didn't swear a few days before that. I went like 2 or 3 days without swearing, and it's like just a lot less. Now I'm basically not swearing for the most part. And the way I fixed it, I don't know if you guys want to know this. It might help, like, one person or no person, but I'll just put it out there. I mentioned that I'm Orthodox Christian, and something that's pretty big in Orthodox Christianity is prostrations. You know how in Islam, where you bow down on your knees and you put your head to the floor, essentially? Uh, that's a prostration. So in Orthodoxy, Christian Orthodoxy, we do that as well. And so every day I would swear. Please tell me that works. have a swear journal with my name on it, literally. And so what I would do is I would write the date. I just give it like a little tally mark there. I don't know if you can see that. 1. Some days it was 5, you know? And at the end of the day, I tally it up. And then at the end of the day, when I pray, I do a prostration for each swear I said. And I say, Lord Jesus Christ, Son of God, have mercy on me, a sinner. And I bow down, put my head to the floor. And that just made me a lot more conscious of the words I was saying. And it gave them more meaning. So I'm not just saying whatever now. And so I'm not swearing anymore. Pretty cool. Diet, intentional with the food you eat, being in tune with body. It's all just about, like, I'm eating, before I was eating like 2,500 calories, and I thought that was my deficit. And I was losing weight a little bit, but I was just exercising a bunch. Now I'm eating like 2,000 calories, and that's pretty hard, right? Oh, I would think it's pretty hard, but it's really not. And what's making it a lot easier is just knowing my why. Not knowing, oh, I want to be this so I can be shredded and walk on the beach in December. But it's just knowing why you're eating, rather. Why? Like, there's reasons we have food. Okay, in the mornings, I like to be a little fasted. You know, not fully fasted and malnutrition and deprived of any nutrients. I'll do a little bit of fatty-ish meat. Like now, this coming week, I want to do a little bit of ground beef. I do a little bit of meat and a little bit of fruit, maybe like an apple and a banana and like 100 grams of meat, maybe. And I'll do that up until like 12 for lunch. And that's not much. It's fasted. It's like hungry-ish, but you're not like malnutritioned, right? And I still drink water, and I still put a little bit of salt in it, a little bit of potassium chloride. Like I'm still getting electrolytes, and I still feel good. I just want this mic to work with me and not against me, bro. And oh my soul, man. And that's why. And the reason why I keep the cows low is so that I'm not digesting all this stuff. So I can just focus in the mornings and study harder. And I feel good when I'm a little hungry-ish, you know, in terms of studying. And I like to save some calories for the rest of the day. At lunch, that's where I'll have more carbs, and that's where I'll have more protein, and that's where I'll also have some veg or like lettuce and cucumber. Why? Because it's insoluble fiber. It kind of just stays in my gut. It makes me feel full. I feel good. I walk a bit after, digest it quick. Maybe a little bit of gas, but it doesn't stink. It's just carbon dioxide. I feel good. And then I eat a bunch of carbohydrates before my gym so that I can have energy in the gym, and it works, and it's amazing. And then after my gym, I save a bunch of my food throughout the day, and I eat a bunch of carbs again and a bunch of protein, and that's my dinner at 5:30. And I'm full and I'm happy, and I drink a bunch of water with it, so I get a little bloated, or a little full rather, and that's good, you know. So I've saved calories throughout the day, and I know at the end of the day, like basically what's most important for me is the gym. I want to be well fueled for my gym, so I get carbs beforehand. I get fuel for the gym, and it works. Like it's just I know what I'm eating, when I'm eating it, why I'm eating it. And that makes sense. You know what I mean? I'm saving carbs for the gym after as well, so I can spike my insulin a bit. Protein as well for after. I don't really need protein right before the gym. I don't need mega. Like I'll have a little bit of protein in the morning, a little bit of protein at lunch, and then a little bit in equal parts after the gym. You know what I'm saying? But I'll save more of my carbs, like my bread and my pasta, maybe for like a little bit for lunch, but largely for pre-workout and after. You know what I mean? So things like that. I just know what I'm eating, when, and why. And then keeping tabs on cravings. Like I was talking about like just completely dismissing cravings, and then what ended up happening is I went home for the holidays and I just ate whatever I wanted, and it turned out in like this 2-week binge holiday. Eat whatever you want kind of thing, which is really, really hard to recover from. Now it's going to take like 4 weeks for me to get back to where I was, which sucks. But if I just address the binge in the moment, it's like, I'm really craving a cheesecake right now, or a carrot cake. All I have to do is just go to a cafe. Like there's literally cafes on my campus where they have carrot cake. Or get a carrot cake muffin. Cut it in half. Eat half of the slice. Eat half of the cake. And if I think, damn, that was delicious, I feel pretty good though. Like I don't really want the other half now. Like it's chill. Like I've still like rather give yourself little treats or cheat meals or like little things like that instead of a whole cheat day, instead of a whole cheat holiday, because that's really really hard to recover from. You know what I mean? If I buy myself that cupcake, like or that carrot cake slice, I can just eat at the end of the day. No big deal. Or I can buy it in the morning and save it for dinner. Uh, and I know throughout the day it's like, oh, okay, it's gonna be a bit more it's gonna have some calories, right? It's just a bunch of sugar and stuff. I can bump my steps up that day. I can do more steps for the weekend. Then I can do a bit more jump rope on today, a bit more jump rope tomorrow, and a bit more jump rope after that, and it should about equate to the cupcake. So it's little things like that. That's a lot easier to balance in terms of skin, for example, so I don't break out. It's very easy to just manage one little meal. I can charcoal sandwich, eat the food, charcoal after it. I poo it out, less toxins get absorbed, not so bad, right? But as opposed, like when you go on holiday for 2 weeks, you can't charcoal sandwich every single meal you eat every single day because that's an inhuman amount of charcoal. It just doesn't make sense. So it's just a lot easier to address the little crack in the wall before the entire dam floods. Does that make sense? That sounds like it's a lot more balanced. And now I'm eating a lot more balanced meals as well. I eat a little bit of carbs, a little bit of protein, a little bit of greens. Like today, for example, I had bread, I had lettuce, I had meat, and I had an apple. Like I had a veggie, I had fruit, I had a carb, I had a protein. That's insane. Like I would never eat like that, you know? And I feel good on that. So I don't know about this balance stuff, but it's pretty lit. Like it's pretty dope, you know? I'm not working until, I want to die. I'm enjoying life a bit, but I'm still working hard enough. I'm gymming, but nothing crazy. High frequency, low volume. Like it's manageable. Cardio like it's all just some like balance kind of thing, which is weird because I never really liked the idea of balance. I thought it was mediocre. I thought it was for losers. I thought it was X, Y, Z. So yeah, just keeping tabs on cravings, I guess. You know, and if I am craving something really sweet, like I can kind of just dismiss it, but I can also just have some frozen strawberries, and it's still pretty sweet and it's nice and it tastes like sorbet and it's cool, you know. Uh, so yeah, address the crack in the dam before the entire dam floods. Then barefoot leg days. Doing leg day in running shoes is I used to make that mistake like a week ago, like on Monday, but doing a barefoot is so much better because there's very little stability with this thick cushioning. You can't. It's like so hard, especially if you're doing like a one-legged squat, a Bulgarian split squat, for example. It's so difficult to balance, to just like stay on, like just try it with barefoot in your socks. You will thank me. Like I did leg press with it. It's the best thing since sliced bread. It's amazing. It's insane. I do all my squat movements now with it. I do leg press. I do hack squat. I do Bulgarian split. Like everything is barefoot. It's insane. Do the adductor machine barefoot, especially for legs. It is insane. I don't know what it is. I don't know the science. The control, the pump, maybe I can just go one rep more. Like I don't know what it is, but do your leg workouts barefoot, please. It's insane. Then carb max before gym. This week more carb, next week more fat. Yeah, I'm gonna try up my fats a bit next week, see how I feel. I've been eating balanced meals as well. It's a point I mentioned here. I really like it. Having fun with what you have. Oh yeah, I've been having a lot more fun, which is really weird for me because since coming to med school, I haven't really been. I don't know if I don't want to say I haven't been enjoying the medicine part, but I haven't been enjoying the school part. Like classes sucked. All this new, like a new home, a new family, a new everything. It all sucked, right? Family, I mean people I'm living with, right? I'm eating with them. I'm sharing the bathroom with them. It's like they're essentially my family, right? And it was just like everything kind of sucked. But now, for example, on Thursday I had skills. I went to skills and I was literally dying laughing. Like there was the there was we were doing like some neuro inspection thing. You kind of just want to see if someone's reflexes and nerves and muscles and stuff kind of work. So there was one thing where they're testing for like you know when they hit the hammer on the knee and the knee's supposed to kick up, they test the patellar reflex. He has like some bicep reflex, same thing, just on your bicep basically, but it's a lot more gentler. It shouldn't even move. Like the doctor has to kind of like feel it bounce a bit. And me and my friend were the dummies. Like the guy just needed like 2 volunteers, and so we were doing a bunch of stuff and it was all fun, funny games. Like one thing I had to do this with my hand, and as he shines a light bulb or a flashlight in my eyes to see my pupils dilate. And so I did this, and it was funny, and everyone laughed, and it was giggly, and it was fun. Again, he had to test my reflex, and so he hit my bicep like twice or thrice. It didn't mount, and then on the fourth time, we did it. He hit it, and my arm, like I faked it. At my arm, I put my arm up like boom, and we were all like, "Whoa!" Like that's insane. And then the teacher, he's not really, he's like a chill. He's an actual doctor. Just looks like he had a long day. I don't know. He was pretty tired. Um, he was like, "Yo, guy, like, whoa, I don't know what these two are, like. It's not meant to look like that." And it was pretty funny. So I just literally just been having way more fun. Same thing in class, same thing in the gym, same thing with jumping rope. I don't know what it is. I don't know. I hope I'm not just like it's a weird flex. Like, hey, bro, look how much fun I'm having. But I really am. I really am enjoying it. The high rocks thing, it doesn't make sense. I don't think it's good for my leg day, for my recovery, for anything. But I had fun doing it. The cutting, make the most of what you have. You know what I mean? And the reason I have this point is because I was thinking like I really want a real good ride or die homie. You know what I mean? Or like a partner. It doesn't necessarily have to be it's either like some dope ass GF who's like literally my second half, or like like a friend who's like a brother to me, right? I want like some community. I want like being away from my cousins, my family, my mom, my dad, my good friends from high school. I kind of left my community, and now coming here, it's like I want community again. I want to meet new people. I want everything. I want the good stuff again. I want to meet my people. But maybe I'm just like I'm praying for this thing. For example, this isn't some Christian thing, some weird religious stuff. I'm not necessarily praying about this stuff. I'm just using the word pray here. Maybe I'm like, oh, I want this and this and that. But it's kind of like, look at what you already have. Like, look at the friends, the flatmates you already have. Look at the people you have in your lecture. Look at the people you have in your small clinic group. Again, I go to clinic. Before I didn't really like it. It was the worst thing, waking up early. The girls on the bus were pretty annoying, singing some random songs. But now it's like, you know, wanting new people, better group assignment group. But it's like, make the most of the group you have, homie. Make the most of the skills group you have, the clinic group you have, the experience you have, the patience you have. It's like all about just work with what you got, bro, before you start asking for more, for different things, or for better people. You know what I mean? It's like a coach, and he's coaching some team, and he's like, yo, I want these new signings and these new players. But it's like, bruh, low key, what we have now isn't even that bad, bro. Like, surely you could be, winning some games. You know what I mean? Like, just win some games, bro. Score some goals. Like, we don't have to win the league yet. Like, life is long. A career is long. Like, I'm 19. You're probably young as well. Like, you don't got to win the league first try, bro. Like, just score some goals, you know? Like, greet some fans, win some games, feel the pressure, miss a few penalties, score some penalties, uh, just score some goals, bro. Win some games. You're in class, it's kind of whack. Med kids are kind of nerds. I like more, I don't know, economic students that just don't even know, like, don't even care about life. They just party and stuff. Maybe that's more my drift, but work with what you got, score some goals, make some friends here, meet new people, go on some trips, do some hikes. Work with what you got. You know what I mean? That's my approach now. So that's been me. That's my life. I think being happy is probably the healthiest thing you can do. I speak a lot about previous episodes. I was talking a lot about nutrition and heavy metal detox and this and that. Don't worry, I'm still there. I still want that, and I'm still learning. I'm still failing and learning from my failures. I'm gonna try some new supplement called PEA or something. I don't know enough about it yet, so I can't even talk about it. I'm still a low nickel diet. I'm still trying to improve my body and all this stuff. I'm still trying to maximize my study sessions and get better. So don't worry. I'm not completely taking my foot off the burner, but just being healthy or being happy, my life is infinitely better now. Like, okay, not infinite. My life is a lot better now. I wake up in the morning and I feel good. I don't want to, like, I look in the mirror, I don't have these insane eye bags, or at least it doesn't feel that way. I go to the gym, I listen to music, I sweat, I come back, I eat, I shower. It's nice, it's fun. I talk to my boys on my floor. It's not that bad. And maybe it's those little simple things that are really what's best. It's not about the optimal thing. You know, it's literally just like, oh, I'm gonna go for a walk now because it's a sunny day. Oh, uh, I'm gonna go for a 5K run today on Sunday. Why? Because it's kind of aesthetic. You know what I mean? I'm gonna just go to the gym and hit some bicep curls. Is this all this stuff optimal? Am I going to bed strictly by 10 o'clock? I'm gonna watch the World Cup game tonight. Why? Because it's two good teams playing, and all my homies are here, and it looks like a vibe, and everyone's watching. And I'm gonna go to bed 30 minutes later, 40 minutes later, but I don't care really. Like, it's pretty fun. You know what I mean? And as long as you're not degenerating, as long as you're not like drinking beers while you're watching the game, as long as you're not like, oh, everyone's going out tonight, okay, I'm gonna go and just sing some karaoke. It's pretty fun. I like singing. I'm gonna play the songs I like with the people, you know, with these guys who are also kind of fun. I guess you can say the people I like. You know, as long as I'm not smoking anything, as long as I'm not drinking much alcohol like they are, as long as I'm not degenerating and crumbling like a cookie, you know, like I'm just sitting out. I'm getting a little stale, you know what I mean? But I'm not like breaking in half like the cookie is. Like, you can still have fun. You can still live a little. And that's the worst advice ever. I hate that advice. I hate it when people tell me, live a little. This isn't everything. You know, grades aren't everything. Like, I still like working hard. I really like studying and I like going to the gym. And those things are like pretty hard, right? Like, it's way easy to just sit on my phone and scroll. I still like scrolling. But I also like to you know, to work hard, to sit with a topic and really like struggle with it like a bone and learn new things and study this physiology and why does that mechanism work like that. It's interesting for the most part. Is it the most passionate thing which I'm passionate about, which I'm going to wake up at 4 in the morning for? Not yet. I'm still learning. Hopefully I find that thing one day. But for now, life is better with more sleep. Life is better with a walk in the sun, in nature. Life is better when you laugh with some people. Life is better after you make other people laugh with a joke. Life is better when you just hit the gym a bit and sweat a bit and just, you know, eat a burger or something and not really care about it. Life is better if you do have that craving and you just, you know, eat half the cupcake. You know, that's been me, my bro, or my sister, my girl, whatever. Episode 6 done and dusted. Take care of yourself. I hope to see you in the next one. Hopefully we can connect. If you have anything you want to talk about, the comments are there. Previous videos, there's also a Calendly link. If you want to book a call with me, we can talk in person, but or like FaceTime. That's kind of weird. Whatever. You get the idea. I'm here if you want to connect. If not, peace out. Good luck with your life, and grazie.